Hi, welcome to course N380, Complex Systems of Care, Technology, Patient Safety, and Quality. This is a brief overview of the assignments and expectations for this course. For contact information for your faculty, please check your syllabus. Please feel free to reach out to your professor with any questions or concerns. Check the syllabus to see how your professor will connect with you through virtual office hours, or if they prefer for you to contact them through email or through their cell phone. Arrangements for late assignments can only be made ahead of time. It's imperative that you stay in constant communication with your professor. Late assignments can only be granted if you make that arrangement with your professor ahead of time. If you decide that you need to hand an assignment late and do not have that contact information or communication with your professor, then points will be deducted for any assignment turned in late, no matter what the excuse. Here are some general tips about this course. Always refer to your syllabus for each assignment. The rubrics are a recipe for success. I always tell my students that if you look at the rubric and you be sure to answer each and every question that's in that rubric, you will be sure to succeed in any course. Take out the course schedule. Make note of all due dates on the course schedule in your calendar. The dates in the course are time sensitive, especially in this course. If you have not used a PreNet before, you will see that we will remind you over and over again that you will not be able to participate or move forward in this course if you do not hand your assignments in on time. So please pay attention to the schedule and stay in constant contact with your professor. You want to check in the course at least 2 to 3 times each week. If you have a course question that you would typically ask in front of your classmates, please post your question in the Q&A session of the discussion board. This way, your classmates can benefit from that answer to your question, and they can also respond. Feel free, if you have the answer to the question, you can go ahead and respond as well. All times are listed in Eastern Standard Times. And then if you have a personal question, by all means, please email your professor. Although, if you do have a question that will help the rest of the class, your professor will guide you to post it on the Q&A. There's no silly question at all. I am sure that many of your peers have the same questions that you do. When you email your professor, please include your course and section number in the subject line of your email. Many of your professors are teaching several sections, so it's a way for them to organize which section you're in. It's very important that you only use Drexel email. If you use or have your email forwarded to another account, such as your work or your Drexel email account, a Gmail account, it will return to us most oftentimes in our junk folders, so we may not see it. I don't often check my junk folder, so if you don't hear from me, make sure that you go back and that you put in your question through your Drexel email, or be sure to call me or your course faculty. We are all here to help you, but we cannot help you if you don't reach us. Here are the textbooks for this course. We know that you will enjoy these textbooks. Hopefully you have received them by now and have gotten a head start on reading them. If you have not, no worries. We will pace you through the course so that you will have the readings and just keep up with them throughout. Most of the courses in Drexel's program are not based on the readings. If this course, it's imperative that you read the textbooks. They read more as a fiction book, and we know that you'll enjoy them. If you don't buy the textbook, you will not be able to pass this course because many of the questions are based on this ideal environment that you'll be presented here. And also, your APA book is expected out of each and every course, and we want you to know APA by the time you leave here at Drexel. As you're familiar with the Intellectual Honesty Certificate, we only have this in one link because this is not a writing intensive course. We are going to stress APA throughout, as all of our courses do. However, there's very little writing in this course. There's much more interaction than writing. So you will include in the Intellectual Honesty Certificate, as you'll notice, when you submit to the wiki assignment, as you submit to it, you are agreeing to the Intellectual Honesty Certificate. When you click into the assignment, you'll agree to it. You'll see the Intellectual Honesty Certificate in the syllabus. Please be sure not to cut and paste and not to take work from other work that you have done in other courses. You may, for instance, if you pick teamwork or communication as your topic, think that if you took something that included crucial conversations, that it might fit very well there. However, it's not okay to take your work that you submitted in another course and submit it in the wiki assignment. That's called self-plagiarism. So you must quote yourself if you do that. And also speak to your professor if you're going to do that, because they need to approve you doing that type of work. Make sure that when you are also citing in the when you're in the wiki, that you cite your sources, you quote them if they're from a source, and the same thing in the discussion board as well. We'll expect APA format from you. So no plagiarism, please. Paraphrase and summarize your work and cite it appropriately. The methods of evaluation are in your syllabus. You'll see that your PRANET introduction is 5%. Please read the rubric on how you'll be graded. Within there, I'll go a little bit into detail about each of these. You have a wiki assignment, 15%. You have a graded discussion board. You have 2 of them that are 15% each. You have a PRANET response, 15%, a PRANET critique, 10%. You're going to be doing an RCA, or a root cause analysis, and that is a fishbone diagram which will work in a group together virtually, which is 10%. You'll be doing a collaborate session at the end of this term, which you'll notice is in week, I believe it's in week 9. That is 10%. And you will be working online together in that collaborate session. And then there's a reflection of 5%. So let's talk about the PRANET. To get started in a PRANET, many of you may have had a PRANET already. It's an interactive web-based tool where we are able to answer each other by video instead of in a discussion board, and it allows us to view a scenario and then respond in video response. We're going to get started by introducing each other through a PRANET just to get you used to it. You may have used this in N340 Transformational Leadership. If not, that's okay. We have all the instructions here for you. So there's a PRANET link in the blue navigation bar to the left in the course. All the directions and assignments are located here. The PRANET assignments are also linked in each module, so if you forget where you need to go, you can either go to the PRANET link or you can go into the module. After you're logged in to the assignment, you can click on any of the assignments and you'll see a green Join This Group button. Then you're going to scroll down and read the welcome. After you've read the welcome, scroll down to the active exercise for this group and select Introduction to enter the exercise. For the first exercise, you're going to submit a video introducing yourself to the class and follow the rubric. Be sure to submit by the due date listed in the course calendar and answer all the questions in the rubric. Then you're going to select a peer review to meet your classmates. Watch and comment on at least 2 of your peers' videos. You can watch all of them if you wish, but you only need to comment on 2. Then you're going to select the expert response to meet an expert in the field of complex systems in nursing. The recap page will be used in the next exercise in Module 4, the next APRAINET exercise, but we're not going to be using it here. Then we're going to move on to the wiki assignment. If you've never done a wiki, it's kind of like Wikipedia. If it's information that you can add on your own, and you're going to have a choice of 6 available questions. So in the first week, you're going to see the 6 questions, and each of you has to choose one question to respond to. So the wiki is going to end by the end of week 2, but you need to sign up for it by the end of week 1. So it's on a first come, first served basis. So go ahead in and sign up for which one you would like to answer. And there's a limit of 6 students per each wiki. And there's 28 students per class. So if there are over the number of students in that wiki, the professor has the right to move you to make sure that the groups are equal. We want you to be sure to complete the appropriate readings and research for the question you select. If you notice under each question in that Module 1, there are links and readings there for you. Read those and you will be able to answer the questions. We don't want you to repeat something that somebody else has already said. You're working together as a group. So if you're the first person to answer about national patient safety goals, go ahead and tell us what they are, and then somebody else can add on to what you've already spoken about. You can add videos, you can add pictures, you can add we've had people add in their websites. We've had people show us some really neat things in the wiki to come together as a group. So it's group work without repeating one another. Okay, look at the rubric prior to submitting the assignment. I would also suggest that you work on your wiki assignment offline in a Word document and save it, and not work on it within the wiki itself. I have had some occasions where students have worked on the wiki and they got kicked offline for whatever reason and lost their work. So make sure that you keep a copy of your work offline so that you can go ahead and you should be able to cut and paste it into the wiki when you are finished. At least that way you won't spend hours upon hours working on it and then lose it. So you're going to click on Module 1 to the wiki assignment, click on the wiki that you would like to answer, and then you're going to add your name to the wiki so that I know that you're the person who's going to be in that wiki. You want to sign up for the wiki by the end of week 1. There is a limit of 6 students per wiki. Wikis are chosen on a first come, first served basis, and the course instructor reserves the right to move students to another wiki if there are more than 6 students. And then you're going to start clicking on it to add information to it. So every time you add information to it, please put your name there or put it underneath of your site. We can see all changes made to the wiki throughout the entire 2-week process. We have discussion boards. There's 2 discussion boards that are primarily graded. You will post your primary response to the discussion board by the date indicated in the course schedule on the open discussion week so that others may respond to their discussions. You must post your primary response before being able to view other posts. And the reason that we do this is because we want you to think before reading other students' posts. In the past, we have seen a lot of students kind of do a little group think and say, I'm going to wait to the end and see what everybody else thinks before I post mine. We want you to think for yourself. And then we also want reference for the initial post in APA format. If you don't post by the time the first post is due, please note on your schedule, there will be 5 points deducted for posting after that primary post due date. If you go and click in the discussion board without posting anything, it's counted as like a sneak peek as to what's going on, and blank post will be graded as a first post. So that is points will be deducted because of that. So don't do that. Make sure that you have your post ready to go and go up. And you also may want to write your post on a Word document so that you don't lose your work there either. In Module 4, we're going to move to the ApprayNet exercise. This is in Module 4, which hits around week 5. Is a very busy time. If I can say anything, this is the period of time that you're going to really have to buckle down and be ready to work for 2 weeks. What we are going to do here is we're going to see a ApprayNet challenge, and it's the Elaine Bromley case. You're going to learn about team steps if you haven't learned about that already within your healthcare organization or ambulatory care center. And we're going to view a short video about this as a challenge that presents a critical situation, and then we're going to, it's a simulation online, and then we're going to ask you, what would you do in this situation? So you will have time to read, to incorporate all the principles that we're going to teach you about team steps, and then you will also be able to consult the literature to prepare your response. And you're going to post a video response no longer than 3 minutes to a question that is posed to you. Your response is a role play. We want you to be the nurse who is in the room speaking to the team. Speak within the conversation. Talk to the physician. Talk to the nurses, talk to the team as if you were there in the room. Not as a summary saying, if I was there, I would say, or not summarizing, this is what I think the team should have done. You want to say, doctor, or anesthesiologist, or nurse practitioner. You want to address them that way and stay in the role as the nurse. Again, I cannot stress enough to you, it is critical to comply with the dates listed in the syllabus and course schedule. If you do not submit a video response by the due date, you will not be able to participate in the remainder of the assignment. No participation is no point. At this point in time, we will be at the midpoint of the course, and if you have not gotten your ApprayNet challenge response up, you need to have a conversation with your faculty about whether or not it's possible for you to pass the course, and you may need to withdraw. So I'm just stressing this because this is how imperative it is for you to get this in on time. A couple snafus I'm going to we've learned from last time around. Make sure that you have a good internet connection. Make sure you follow the testing of the ApprayNet. Do you have the right browser? That's why we do the introduction. Follow testing the internet connections and using the right browsers. Do not use a video, try to attempt to do a video from your work computer. There are a lot of firewalls there that at work that sometimes prevent you from being able to post a video. Do not wait until the 11th hour to post your video. There is a green help button with tech support that will help you Monday through Friday, not on the weekends. I believe it's from 9 to 5. They are very responsive. They will help you if you have a snafu at all. That's your first line of response for ApprayNet. Not tech support at Drexel, not your professor. It's ApprayNet. Please let your professor know that you're reaching out for help. Let them know that you're having difficulty so that we are aware that that is happening. And then we can also loop into ApprayNet their help support to see what is happening on their end. But you want to make sure that you put the best effort into this and do this early. Don't wait to the last minute on this. Then you will be doing a critique. So you'll be able to review your peers' responses after the video challenge closes. You'll be required to respond using critique questions by providing written feedback to 4 of your peers. Very important here that you leave feedback for your peers. You'll get 2 videos randomly selected for you to review. Leave feedback before you move on to the next pair. I've had students who have moved forward with what they've left, like they did a Word document on feedback on a student and then move forward, but you don't get the same pair back. So make sure that if you want to use a Word document and leave feedback that way, make sure you insert it underneath of the student you are observing before you move forward. You are more than welcome to view all of the students' responses. However, please do not run through all of them before you give feedback on just the 4 that we've asked you to do. So do your 4, do your responses as you view them. You're also going to rate which one you preferred out of the 2, because at the end we will have the highest rated response come up for you to see. Feedback is critical in helping people develop skills. It's important for you. You're going to give positive feedback. You're going to give constructive feedback, helping people to improve. And it's hard for us to do as nurses to help people learn how to reflect, and it leads to helping us learn how to be better at our oral communication skills as well. When we are finished with this, we're going to move right into the fishbone diagram. A fishbone diagram is really just a tool to help with a root cause analysis. It's a structured team process that assists in identifying the underlying factors or cause of an adverse event or near miss. And you're going to work on this based on the Elaine Bromley event. So once you're finished, you will see that the Elaine Bromley event will open up for you again. And you'll be placed by the computer into groups. And so you'll have time to work together to see what the cause and effects were during this event. And we'll show you how to do a fishbone diagram. If you've been part of an RCA before, then you will have some understanding of how these happen. If not, this will help you to identify some possible causes of the problem. And this is a very interesting exercise for you all to kind of work through and come to consensus on as to, what it really is actually to work in a team to identify what the root cause is of this situation that occurred. At the end of the course, we do have a collaborate session, and it's important that you be there for the session. If you're unable to be there for the session, of course, we will give you independent work to do. It's really valuable if you can be there, because we will be putting you into virtual rooms and you'll be working together that night in group work in the collaborate session, and come back and you'll present your group work during this session. Please contact your professor if you're unable to attend, so that we know ahead of time that how many students will be there that evening. And then finally, you will have a reflection discussion board. And within this discussion board, you'll just simply reflect, and this is really important for professional development, to think about what you've learned in this course, how you might change your practice, or how your practice has begun to change because of this course. And you will receive full credit for this activity as long as you provide a substantive reply, 2 paragraphs minimum, and submit the assignment on time. And you're going to still respond to two of your peers, as we did in the other discussion board. There's no right or wrong answers here. There's no need here at this point to cite in APA format. It's just us discussing and kind of recapping the course together. So if you have any questions, remember, please subscribe to the Q&A discussion boards so that you can get that sent to your smartphone. Questions will come right directly there. Your professor has subscribed to them as well. And make sure all your course-related questions are here. And check back in this forum often. We hope you enjoy this new course. This is our second iteration of running it. We hope we have smoothed out some of the bumps in the road, and we look forward to working with you this term. Best of luck and enjoy. Thank you.